Hey guys, what's up and welcome to today's video. I thought it would be kind of fun to dig through my eyeshadow collection because my eyeshadow palette collection is so incredibly vast that I kind of want to start breaking it down for you guys, letting you know like what my favorites are in my collection to kind of help you guys to kind of zone in on what maybe you should purchase or if there's a type of palette that you are looking to add to your collection. So I'm going to really try to shop my stash more. I know you guys have heard that term, probably seen videos like that floating around YouTube and in the beauty community, but I really do kind of want to take a look back and utilize more of what I already own and mix that in with reviewing new products because trust me, I use a lot of stuff off camera that I've owned for quite some time and that I absolutely love, and I think it's important to share that with you guys. I'm really sad and I'm distracted by this. Looking in the viewfinder, my extension cord pooped out on me and I can't turn my salt lamp on, and it's been an issue on and off for a while, but yeah, I don't know why I don't just order a new one. They're like 10 bucks. Anyways, let's stick to the makeup. We're gonna go ahead and go over some palettes that surprised me. Now, when I say surprised me, I mean palettes that just kind of like blew me away. I wasn't quite expecting them to work the way that they work. So yeah, we're gonna go over that. No particular order. I just have a nice healthy pile right here of palettes to go over. I'm sure most of you have seen these before. There are a couple that are newer. Let's go ahead and jump into it, and we're gonna talk about palettes that surprised me. These eyeshadows are superb. Like, they are formulas that I believe kind of went above and beyond. Let's talk about what I have right on top. From ABH, this is one of the mini NORVINA palettes. Now, this is the volume 3. I haven't tried any of the other ones, but after trying this, I have said that there are a couple others that I have been really wanting to try. In the past, I haven't been a huge fan of ABH palettes, like their traditional palettes, but I think that the NORVINA formula might be a little bit different. I did do a dedicated review on this look, and let me tell you, or on this look, I did do a dedicated review on this palette and I was shocked. And I think part of that was because I'm just, like I said, not a huge fan of the traditional ABH palettes. So when I dipped into this and I got the look that I did out of these shadows, I kind of just sat there like, seriously, this is next level good. Now, these are considered pressed pigments, but my goodness, are they easy to blend. They are extremely pigmented, but they are so easy to work with. Even the reds in this palette, which is mostly what I focused on when I reviewed this initially, beautiful, absolutely breathtaking. Blendability wise is a 10 on 10. Pigmentation is a 10 on 10. Ease of use, color story, if you're into some brighter colors like this, you like blues and pops of pink, you are absolutely going to love this. The packaging too, absolutely adorable. Totally blown away. Like, I'm gonna use it, shook by how well this palette worked. Definitely recommend it. So worth checking out. Like I said myself, I do want to try more of the NORVINA style palettes. Now, the next one is a newer item. This one launched not too long ago. I did talk about it in one of my lives a couple of weeks ago, and I had just started using it after that point because I swatched it live with you guys, if you caught that. I was blown away by the mattes, the metallics. I was like, there is no way this is a drugstore palette. From Maybelline, this is the Nudes of New York. Now, I am gonna go ahead and swatch this just so I can show you guys the mattes in here, first of all. Now, I am really picky with drugstore palettes, and I'm not talking about like affordable palettes like ColourPop. I'm talking like actual palettes from the drugstore. I did like the Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette that came out a couple of years ago, but this one is even better than that. Like, these are next level. Amen. This is finally a drugstore palette that actually blew me away, that I thought was definitely worth picking up. If you are someone who just doesn't want to spend a ton of money on a palette, you want something that's easy to use, not so pigmented that you're going to spend a ton of time blending, you will absolutely love this. It is a gorgeous collection of shades, and in my opinion, I think it's very much so a dupe for the brand new, I think it's the Too Faced Born This Way collection, the Nudes. I don't know if you guys have seen that palette before, but I am going to go ahead and swatch some of the metallics as well. I always like to show you guys how they look on the fingers as well, but they're just stunning and they look beautiful on the eyes as well. Like, yes, believe it or not, this is an $11.99 drugstore Maybelline palette. And the name, does it get any better? It's got New York in the title. It's got to be good, right? The next palette is something from Pat McGrath. Now, I have ranted and raved about this palette on my channel before, and this was the first Pat McGrath palette that I had ever tried, and I knew that it was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. Now, before I even open this up, I do have to say that I ordered, I think it was her mothership, was it number 5, I believe? The Midnight Sun, I think it was. I reviewed it on my channel, and I wasn't as impressed. To me, the formula felt completely different than what is in this smaller 6-pan palette right here. Again, very neutral shades, but a beautiful collection of shades. Now, what's odd about this is that you really only have one matte in here, but trust me, you can make it work, and that's this shade right here. What really blew me away was how blendable they are, and kind of my new term for palettes that impress me blend-wise, I call them self-blending, which means they just work effortlessly. Doesn't even matter what brush I'm using, I can dip my brush in, start to blend, and boom, it's almost like it just diffuses effortlessly. I don't have to put a lot of work in. The shadow just does all the work for me. So I'm gonna swatch this one for you guys as well. As you can see, the metallics, just gorgeous, beautiful swatches, just stunning for what it is. These are a little bit spendy, but they do go on sale from time to time. The packaging, I love it. It is so artistic and cool and avant-garde. Blew me away. The formula is just that good. Now, a couple of palettes from KKW. These were the first eyeshadow palettes that I tried from KKW Beauty, and again, blew me away. I really didn't expect them to be that good. So I have the KKW by Mario. This is the Artist and Muse palette. Most of these palettes I'm talking about, I have done dedicated reviews on, I will say that. A lot of people will look at this and think, you know, it's just like your typical neutral palette, but I'm telling you, there is just something about having all of these shades in this collection. Sometimes it is nice that even though it might be colors that we have seen before, but you can pick it up in one palette and it's just like those certain perfect colors are pulled together. And that's what I love about this. Like, these transition shades in here, everything, just everything. I literally do not need anything else. But besides that, it's the formulation that is amazing. Mattes, extremely buttery smooth. I believe these palettes are like 45 bucks, so they're not totally crazy price-wise. I'm gonna try to swatch as much as I can for you guys of these palettes. It's just, it's so good. So good. Look at all this neutral happening on my arm. You can tell I have a type when it comes to makeup, can you not? So stunning, and two of my favorite shades in here. I'll show you these metallics. First off, look at these. Can you not? Like, this is so good. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 stunning. This type of shade right here. All-time favorite, all over the lid, inner corner shade, brow bone. Stunning, beautiful. I love this kind of yellowy matte shade right here called Look Up. This is one of my favorite shades. We're running out of room here. It's just like this mustardy, just mid-tone brown. Gorgeous. This palette blew me away. I have the KKW Beauty. I think this is the Matte Cocoa collection. Gorgeous. Now, what I love about this, again, is the same matte formula that blew me away. Stunning. Like I said, it didn't expect it to work as well as it did, but I love that these are compatible with pretty much every single skin tone. You've got things in here that are gonna work beautiful on the deepest of deep skin tones, like these shades right here. Oh my goodness, gorgeous transition. You can deepen it up, just absolutely beautiful. But then you've got shades in here that work well with even the lightest and most fair of skin, looking for a neutral palette. So for me, what I love about this is very supplemental. If you wanna have just your classic go-to everyday mattes in a palette, or if you just want to create a total matte neutral look, this palette's going to get it to you, and I just love that. I was blown away again by the formula, the collection of shades, how well they blended, how beautiful they look on the eyes. I got so many compliments when I wore this palette to work. A lot of people were just like, you know, what is on your eyes? I did a total matte look, only use this palette, and I had so many people asking me what eyeshadow I had on that day. So absolutely stunning. Now let's talk about colored RAINE. I think that this is a company that just is not talked about enough. These shadows are hands down some of the best eyeshadows I have ever used. I have owned my fair share of eyeshadow palettes. I have decluttered my fair share, and let me tell you, this is just stunning. So first off, obviously the collection of shades. So this is the Queen of Hearts palette. I remember when I got this in the mail, I don't really know what urged me to purchase this or how I even heard of colored RAINE, but I remember the day that I got it in the mail and I swatched the metallics, my mouth was just like, are you kidding me? And I'll tell you, out of all of the palettes I'm talking about today, this one by far probably has, easy to say, the best formula. To me, this is even better than Pat McGrath. I'm gonna say it, it is just stunning. First off, look at these metallic shades. They swatch so evenly. They do not crumble. They don't bunch up. They don't break apart. They are just absolute perfection, extremely reflective, and every metallic in this palette is just like that. Let me swatch the mattes for you guys because the color payoff is just next level. I hope they still swatch well because my skin is so dry right now. So please excuse me if things look a little bit patchy, but just like the density of color. Like these obviously swatch well, but you can tell that this just packs like a different type of punch and they blend. Oh my goodness, do they blend. So this blew me away, went above and beyond as far as expectation wise. Again, I don't remember what made me try colored RAINE, but it blew me away. Let's step into something a little bit different. This is a palette that I actually included in an anti-haul. So when I first caught wind that this palette was launching, I was like, it's boring, it looks kind of ashy. I was like, really? Like I just had all the doubts in the world, and some of the negative comments did get to my head from other people. A lot of my subscribers were like, I have the palette, it is beautiful, the shades blend, it is gorgeous, please give it a chance, you will absolutely love it. So I ate my words, swallowed my pride, and ordered this palette. So this is from Laura Lee. This is the Nudie Patootie palette. So first off, obviously the packaging is on point, super beautiful. I love this. I think it is so cute. Here for the packaging, but really truly the shades on the inside are quite unique. I think it's beautiful. For a neutral palette, this is something that looks quite different in my opinion, and I will tell you too that I love it. Now what I love about this palette is that I think it is, number one, fantastic for those who are not super comfortable with makeup. They're not overly pigmented. These mattes in here you definitely have to build up, but I think that's what impressed me is the formulation is just like so right down the middle. Like, I hope I'm describing this properly, that it makes it so easy to use, but also creates the most beautiful, gorgeous, romantic, neutral looks. So absolutely gorgeous. And she's got some duochromes in here as well, Au Naturel and Jaybird. These two shades right here, but they swatch so gorgeously. Love, 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 especially the shade right here. It's got like that gold, pinky, deep pink shift. I love the shade Topless, Uncover. Like, look at those. They're just kind of different. Like, yes, they're neutral, but they're a little bit different than what you would normally find in a neutral palette. Absolutely breathtaking. Love this. If you are someone who's not super comfortable with makeup, you're newer with makeup, you have a hard time like putting shades together, you're not quite sure what goes with what, you feel overwhelmed by palettes, I think that this one is a really good place to start because all the shades go together. You really can't go wrong. Everything works well. You could literally pair any of these shades up. It's got very light, pretty, easy to use neutral shades, but the blend on them is just fantastic, and I love this palette. It totally surprised me. Next, from Juvia's Place, I butcher this name. Can someone please tell me how I pronounce this? Is it DOUCE or is it DOUCE? Is it DOUCE? And I've looked up different videos and people all pronounce it differently, and I'm like, please, can someone tell me the right way to pronounce it? But this is another one that every time I wear this, I get asked what is on my eyes, more so than really a lot of my other palettes. I don't know if it's just the shades that are in here or what I choose to put together, but a lot of you ask. And now I had heard Nikki Tutorials rave about Juvia's Place shadows among some other influencers. So last year I finally said, I'm gonna try it. They were having a sale and I'm so glad I did. I love this palette. This is the cutest thing. When I look at this, I think of like French macaroons, and then obviously the names correlate with that because there's tart, there's cream, custard, chocolat, macaroons, berry mousse, Mont Blanc, crepes. You know, it just felt very like French dessert vibes, and that's exactly what it is, and it's so good. I just love the selection of colors in here. It's so cute, it's fun, it's pretty, it's inspiring. I love the giant pans. I've swatched this so many times on my channel and talked about it quite a bit, but it's just a really fun palette. If you want something that's colorful, but not too crazy, and something that can be very wearable every day, check this palette out. But it totally surprised me. I was really shocked at how much I absolutely loved this palette. All right, so we are getting down there. I have two more. The second to last one is the 3503 Fierce by Nature palette. Morphe shadows sometimes can really be a hit or miss, especially stuff that's outside of their influencer collaborations. I always feel like their influencer collabs are always better. I don't know why that is or why they do that. I'm like, can you just use the same formula? Or maybe it's power of suggestion. Maybe we just think that it's better. I don't know. But I mean, I've noticed a difference in blend, but this one blew me away. I think that a lot of people were deterred by this because, I mean, let's be real, the colors are nothing that are absolutely groundbreaking, but I will say that the bright kind of neon shades in here really spice this palette up. There is a lot of neutrality to this. When I saw this, I just totally overlooked it. I totally overlooked it. I was like, what the hell is that green up there? Like, it's such an obvious pop of color, but the palette is really good, you guys. The mattes in here are really good, like buttery smooth. They remind me of the first Jaclyn Hill palette, like totally, like how they swatch and just how they blend out too. Like they are just super soft and creamy and buttery and pigmented and just beautiful. If you love warm, hot shades and you want someone that has like these kind of pops of color in here, someone that's a little bit more adventurous, I think that you will really enjoy this palette. I do think it's been on sale recently. A lot of people slept on it. I don't blame people, like I said, but it shocked me. Like this is hands down probably the best Morphe palette. Like I said, outside of their collab stuff, this is the best Morphe palette I have ever tried. Even the metallics in here blew me away. Like, I was kind of shocked at how good this palette was. I just wish Morphe was a little bit more consistent. I'm pretty sure a lot of their stuff is private labeled. There's been a lot of speculation about that. I don't know how many of their own factories, pressing machines that they actually own, but whatever they did with this palette, they really kicked it up a notch. And like I said, for one of their standard 35 palettes, this is the best that I have ever tried. Last but not least, this probably isn't going to shock a lot of you, but I do have to say that the TATI Beauty Textured Neutrals palette did blow me away. Now, let's be real. I knew that anything that TATI were to come out with, the woman has tested so much makeup that it was almost unlikely, like extremely unlikely, that she would release something that sucked. I mean, it still shocked me. I hate glitter. I hate glitter. I hate false lashes because I don't like things that I can feel on my eyes. That's a big thing for me. I don't like to notice my makeup. Even foundation, I don't want to feel that it's there. And glitter and false lashes and that whole kind of thing always do that for me. But these glitters are next level. They are so weightless. They are so densely packed that it doesn't take much. They stay where you put them. They do not fall down on your lashes or all over your face. I have worn this palette so many times. I have really run it through the mill and really tested it out, and it is such a gorgeous palette. From the formulation to the color story to the idea behind this, it really was more than I expected. The shadows, the mattes, they blend themselves. They're self-blending, as I like to say now. Like I said, the glitters are not heavy. I love this sequin formula. If you have this palette and you kind of struggle with this, or you don't know how to use this row, I definitely suggest your finger. If you really want to maximize that glitter and that shift, I love this one right here. Story is my favorite. But you can apply it all over the lid and then use a brush to kind of blend out the edges to kind of get rid of any harshness. And you're not going to compromise that beautiful pressed glitter, or those shimmers, I should say. It's not really glitter. The shimmery kind of micro reflex that are in the sequin formula, just a tip. This blew me away and performed even better. The packaging is just gorgeous and stunning, and I love the mirror, and it really was that next level. Like, it really shocked me, and it really was way more beautiful. The formula was better than I even could have expected it to be. So there you guys have it, a collection of palettes that really blew me away, why I ultimately purchased them, why I ultimately have held on to them for so long and continue to use them. These are palettes that you will see frequently in videos, maybe not all the time, but when I'm filming a video like this, for example, or it's just a video that I'm not really reviewing much, these are generally the palettes that I am reaching for day to day. They're just so good. Tried and true favorites, but they also blew me away formulation wise. Leave me a comment down below if there are products that worked better than you expected. Not even necessarily eyeshadow, it could be lipsticks, it could be a concealer. I would love to hear from you guys. I love reading your comments. It's my favorite part of YouTube. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it, share it, and of course, please be sure to subscribe to my channel before you go. I love you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye guys!